Hey, I'm Monica.
I'm Jason.
We are feeling creative today, and we figured we would just take a minute to share some thoughts about some of the stuff that's kind of animating us these days. And we have a topic in mind, and we're going to see where it goes.
Basically, what is inspiring you creatively right now?
Yep. So, do you want to go first?
Sure, but then you have to give a hot take on it. I've spent some time over the last few weeks inspired to write in the morning. So,
Yeah.
much like I used to do when I wanted to find time to play video games, I'm getting up a little earlier in the morning and trying to find an hour in the morning to just sit at the keyboard and jam on it. And what is deeply inspiring to me in this process is the writing of Dan Simmons. Dan Simmons is such a fantastic author. He's written across multiple genres, science fiction,
Yes.
horror, um, which I don't actually read. I've read one horror
I know. I
book by
can't
him.
believe he's done horror, but he has, and it's
Oh,
very
he's
good.
really good at it. But his writing is sculpture. Like it's just he has the perfect way of describing things that makes it literature, but he stays in, it's not overly flowery. It's just sculpted.
Mhm.
And I find it very
Can I ask
inspiring.
something about that?
Of course.
So, how does Dan Simmons, what part of that kind of connects to your creative inspiration to write in the morning? Are you inspired to write like him, or is there something else?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always, I think one of the things about my tendency to be a dilettante is that I'm I'm actually easily inspired by whatever it is that
Yeah.
I'm doing.
Yeah. That's really
I'm
fun to
reading this
see.
book, I'm inspired by that. I'm watching this movie, I'm inspired by that. I'm listening to this podcast, I'm
It's
inspired by that.
amazing. You're a creative chameleon,
I just want to
Love it.
do whatever it is that I'm consuming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so quite literally, I think I'm actually listening in this case to a Dan Simmons book called Flashback, which is science fiction police procedural set in the near future, and so it's a good fit because I also recently read a really creative, fun, and clever sort of whodunit book called Everybody in My Family Has Killed Someone,
Mm,
and anyways, put those two things together. I'm
it's
working
fun.
on a science fiction mystery short story, right?
Yes.
And I'm trying to make it because I read a lot of stuff in Analog, the periodical,
Yep.
the
The
sort
science
of
fiction one,
quarterly science fiction
which goes back
periodical.
decades, I think, right?
Yeah,
It's a classic.
yeah, it's for
It's really
ages.
cool.
And a lot of that stuff is good but dry in prose. And I think Simmons writes in these genres that are more often characterized by dry prose, but makes them literature.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my exercise.
Love it.
So
So
that's what's inspired.
when you asked for a hot take, what did you mean?
I just want you to like react to it. Like,
Okay.
give me like, what do you think? Am I full of
Okay.
shit? Am I
Ah,
like
no, I mean,
what do you think of Dan Simmons' writing? Are you
yeah.
familiar with it?
Okay, let me answer first as your wife. I think it is super cool that you've been getting up early in the mornings, that there's something so motivating to you that you've taken a little sleep and a little of other things and parted them to the side to make room for this. I think that's really cool, and I can tell that you're finding a lot of joy in it. I particularly like, and this sounds really weird, that you're not sharing it with me. I particularly like that because we share a lot, right? Maybe as I try to guess why I like that, I think it's because it's evidence of a deeper relationship between you and that work. And that's cool. So that Dan Simmons, I love. I consider the Hyperion and Endymion novels to be my favorite science fiction books. Yes, my favorite science fiction books. If you go to TV, then there's like Battlestar Galactica and all that, and Star Trek to compete with. But his writing is extraordinary, and I've always really revered the fact that he can cross genres because that is not easy.
Not easy at all.
That is
No.
incredible. So there's my take.
Cool. Okay, so what has been inspiring you
Yeah.
lately?
Well, it's the video game that we have put down temporarily, but that was with us, both of us, for a while, which is this game called Blueprints.
Yeah.
And, for folks who don't know, it's the best reviewed game of 2025. I don't know if that's still true. That was true a month ago. It's this extraordinary puzzle game, and the premise is that you as a character are meant to inherit this beautiful estate in this totally different world. And the crazy thing is, this house, this estate that you're going to inherit, every time you go into it actually looks different, like it's built differently. And so as a player, every time you go to open a door in the house, you get to choose one of 3 rooms that you will decide goes there. And so it's like you're drawing from a deck of cards, like those card games, and then you decide which card to play. I know it sounds crazy, and it is crazy. And you remember how much I hated the game when we first started?
Yeah, well, because
I hated it.
can I tell you, can I interrupt to tell you?
Yeah.
I looked up, so it's a roguelike game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is it called that? Because it's a weird name
It is a
for
weird
the
name. I
mechanic.
wondered that.
The mechanic is basically that you start through, you do a run of the game. And when you die or when that run ends, the game resets.
Everything's gone.
But there's a little bit of permanence that lives on. And it's because there was a game like 30 years ago called Rogue, which had that
That's why.
structure. And I was like, okay, so that's why it's roguelike.
Thank you for clarifying that. I wondered if it had something to do with the rogue character
Yeah,
of Dungeons and Dragons.
that's why I was curious about that
It
too.
has nothing to do with
No.
sneaking around, apparently.
Nope.
Well, here's what's actually creatively inspiring to me about this game. It's what's the name of that thing? There's like mosaics in kind of ancient world somewhere. These mosaics that indigenous tribes would make and then out of sand, and then they would just blow them all away. There's something amazingly motivating to me about building something that you know is not going to last. It is impermanent, and that you did not get done on a single day in blueprints when you have the house looking a certain way. You didn't get done everything that you wanted to do. You are out of the resources, and the economy of the game is very limited and constrained for a reason. And so you're frustrated, like the game won't let me go. I have to go to sleep, I have to rest now, and I have to come back for another run and recreate this house and hope that I get these same opportunities. But I don't know that I will. I don't know what opportunities I'll get. And it seems to me to be like the most incredible analogy for just life in general. You don't know what each day is going to bring. You don't know if you're going to get the opportunities you want. But that's how it goes. And then you go to sleep, and then the next day, like, we'll see what happens. And so it's really cool. It's come up in my dreams, and it's helped me find more peace with the answers I don't have to my own kind of seeking on my own work.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I like it.
I mean, we've both done a fair amount of recent like meditation and looking into some of this, we have a friend who's guiding us through a process around Buddhist principles and reading. And there's a lot of alignment there between this idea of, you used the word impermanence, which is a very Buddhist word.
Yep.
The idea of things sort of existing for what they are in the moment and then moving on, like that's very Buddhist.
It is.
There's a good rhyming there in that kind of inspiration. Some people are better at this than others. I don't know that I'm particularly good at wiping slates clean in my life or in my career.
Suck at it.
Right? But there's something about
even the idea of throwing away a draft of something that's not working is like painful to me. I will sit there and work on that draft and beat it half to death and waste time because it's so hard to just throw it out.
Yeah. The other thing that the game's good at for me, good practice, is I can't use up things, right? Like if I have a box of 80 tissues, I'm gonna reverse asymptotally use the tissues. Right, I'll use the tissues until there's like 20 left, and I'm like, I better slow down.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And then there'll be like 5 tissues left, and I'm like,
So
I better not
right.
use the tissue because it's going to run out.
Yes.
As if I couldn't buy another box of tissues.
Exactly.
But the game's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, day's going to be over, so.
Yeah, it sort of tests you. That game tests a bunch of things in your personality. I think it reveals a lot. Even you and me playing together and the way it's a collaborative, it's not meant to be a 2-player game, but we kind of take it as let's make it collaborative. And we get frustrated with each other about like, why aren't you taking more risks? Or why did you make that room and not this room? You've just got to gamble on something. And it's been
deep.
It's been really cool.
The game is
it's
deep.
revealed a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah.
I love it.
My desire for optionality because I want rooms with doors.
Right. Oh my God, that drove me crazy. So you will miss all these great opportunities just to have a path north. Anyway, you'll know if you know. It's such an interesting game. But yeah, there you go.